Saul of Tarsus, later known as the Apostle Paul, was one of the most influential leaders in the history of Christianity. He was born in Tarsus, a prominent city in the Roman province of Cilicia, in what is now modern-day Turkey. He was Jewish, from the tribe of Benjamin, and also a Roman citizen, a unique combination that gave him both religious credibility and legal protection. He studied in Jerusalem under the respected Rabbi Gamaliel and became a Pharisee, rigorously devoted to the law of Moses. At first, Paul was not a follower of Jesus. In fact, he strongly opposed the early church. He believed Christians were distorting the truth about God. The book of Acts first introduces him at the stoning of Stephen, the first Christian martyr, where Saul stood in approval. He actively persecuted believers, even traveling to other cities to arrest them. But everything changed on the road to Damascus. On his way to imprison Christians, Saul was confronted by a blinding light and the voice of the risen Jesus. That encounter transformed him. The persecutor became a preacher. The man who tried to silence the church became one of its boldest voices. After his conversion, Paul spent years growing in his understanding of Christ before beginning missionary journeys across the Roman world. He traveled through cities like Antioch, Corinth, Ephesus, Philippi, and eventually Rome, planting churches and strengthening believers. He wrote letters, many of which are now part of the New Testament, including Romans, Corinthians, Galatians, and Ephesians. In them, he clearly explained that salvation is by grace through faith in Jesus Christ, not by works of the law. Paul endured beatings, imprisonments, shipwrecks, hunger, and constant opposition. Yet he remained faithful. Tradition holds that he was eventually executed in Rome under Emperor Nero. From Paul's life, we learn that no one is beyond the reach of God's grace. A past marked by failure or even hostility toward God does not disqualify someone from being used by Him. We learn that calling often grows through obscurity and preparation, not instant platform. We learn that faithfulness may involve suffering, but suffering does not mean God is absent. And we learn that a life fully surrendered to Christ can have ripple effects far beyond what we see. Paul's story is ultimately a story of transformation, proof that when grace takes hold of a life, everything changes.